No, wait, another one? Just sworn I blew that up. Oh, yeah, you're probably a little confused, aren't you? Okay, so you see, um, there was this person named B, and they had a pet, I suppose you would call it. Yeah, I guess you could call it a pet. It was a snow golem. Um, and this snow golem, when I came to go check on it, was all alone, was being neglected. Nobody was feeding it, no attention being given to it. So I thought, maybe I ought to save it because it seemed like it was a very destructive environment. So I busted it out of its prison and took him over to my platform where I started taking care of it and being nice to it and feeding it. And then B came, and B was like, "Yo, that's my pet. I want it back." And I was like, "No, you neglected it. You don't deserve it." And then Ben came, and Ben decided to be on B's side and try and take back the animal they were abusing. So I sit there. I'm like, you know what? Fine, you guys want to take him back so bad? Fine, but if I find out that you're gonna mistreat him, I'm taking him back. So then Ben, he takes him away from my little cage that I had him in, which was a nice, cool, super protective bubble, and it starts to rain. And Ben takes him out of the cage and murders Snowboy. Yeah, and then B blames me for the death of their pet. Clearly, they exactly. And if these people were supposed to be such good caretakers, they would plan for rain and stuff and know how to get him home safely. But no, just takes him out of my protective cage where he was perfectly safe and takes him into the rain where he dies. Ben murdered Snowboy. And then B goes and she's out there. She's accusing me mourning the death of the pet that they weren't even treating properly to begin with, and challenges me to a fight, claiming I killed their pet, and that if they wanted, like, so B had a cat with them too, right? And I figured, if you're not taking care of one animal, yeah, and I was like, you know what, if you're not taking care of one animal, you don't deserve the cat either. So I put the cat on a fence post as to get the cat out of the situation. And then B is like, I want the cat back. And I'm like, no, Ben just killed one pet. I'm not letting another pet go back to this abusive situation. And then B declares to fight me for it. And I was like, we don't have to do this. That would be a bad idea. Trust me. It doesn't need to come to this. And so B shoots me. I'm sitting there holding my shield up, not trying to fight. And B shoots me with a piercing crossbow. Yeah, that hurt. And so I decided, you know what? If it's going to come down to this, it's either my life and I protect the cat, or the cat goes to an abusive situation where the cat's likely going to die, and I'm going to die in the process. So I decided to start fighting back, in which B may have happened to die, but there was nothing I could do. You know, I was shocked. Yeah, and quite frankly, I thought I would save the cat in my life first. But in the process of trying to save my life and get B away, Ben stole the cat. Probably. So, that whole thing happened. And then I come back to my base one day, just expecting a nice, normal day, probably gonna build my house, which I still haven't been able to finish because of this whole situation. And there's a bunch of signs saying boo all over the place. Yeah, BOO. And all my crops are destroyed, and my present that Glowing brought was murdered. So I immediately start thinking, this has got to be some sort of haunting. And I think, well, what could be the cause of a haunting? Oh, yeah, Bee's death. So I decided, you know what? There's one way I know to either make this ghost very, very mad, or to teach them not to mess with me. So I went to what I thought was the only grave, and I blew it up. So now that one grave got blown up due to a haunting that apparently was server wide, it wasn't just me. And yeah, happened at Squid's base, happened at Daisy's base, happened at even Ben's base. So, well, that's good for you. At least you're not dealing with this haunting. So I took the only logical course of action and blew up the grave. I like how you think. I do not. Like I said, I was unaware that there was a new one. Of course it is. I should have expected nothing else. Well, from what I hear, Ben's been trying to frame it so that I've been the bad guy. Because, he murdered the pet, you know? And then watched his friend shoot me and then die in front of him. So, I tell the story how it happened, and you hear that I've been being framed by him to be played as a bad guy. Well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not done gathering my intelligence on that, but it would seem that it would be more than half people, which is not a good thing for me, especially since, he's lying and making me look bad. So I am attempting to figure out how to deal with the situation. Because clearly people won't just believe me. Prepare for war? You think it's gonna get that serious? Well, whose side are you on? Okay, okay, cool. Just had to clarify, you know. Yeah, I'm still yet to see the thing. Oh? Yeah, I'll be on my way. That sounds neat. It's a lot further than my base is currently, with the whole situation, I've hardly been able to put up some walls. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, yeah, that would work. Alright, yeah, that's not too far. I do have a horse. Well, I have two as well, but there's only one that is a little special to me. See, I would love to see him try, because the moment that he tries to declare any sort of war on me, I will make sure it's the last thing that he ever does. And he will wind up just like his friend, attacking me first only to lose over and over again. I happened to see that it wasn't too special when I went to blow up the first grave. But the day he messes with me will be his greatest mistake. So I advise to everybody who may see this message not to mess with me. Yeah, you're on my side, right? You are quite shiny and decked out. Oh, that is a good name. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've just not had the chance since everything broke out. Yeah. Well, I do think that I should warn you. I have a raid curse on me. So, alright. Wait on the bridge. No, I'm gonna wait. That way I don't start the raid until you're ready. Alright. I'll start coming then. This is quite tall. Huh. This must have taken a long time. Yeah, I noticed that. Oh, that's a big gap. Yeah, this was a whole ravine, wasn't it? Huh. It's one way to do it, I suppose. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh, so these are the horses that you were talking about. Nice to meet you, Busco. Well, I don't either. Well, Mr. Shiny Gear, do you happen to have a looting sword? Well, this might take a minute then. In the meantime, should we defend against the raid? Oh, yeah. Bunker, safe, prison. Um, would I be allowed access to this? Cool. I might have something that I need to store. I might have something that I need to store at your place. So you remember how I was telling you about the pet that had been abused? Well, I have the head of the pet in order to prevent them from reviving the pet and abusing it further. Well, if they have the same head, it's like the same conscience. You would think, but apparently with that particular pet, it doesn't need one. Because it's already been revived once. Which just shows how unattentive they were to the thing. They'd already let it die once before. Yeah, I've not really seen him on since that whole thing. Which does seem a little weird now that you mention it. Oh? Huh. Well, that's interesting, to say the very least. Sure. You don't think that they're gonna, like, actually try and revive B, right? Uh, how long has this thing been here? Yeah, And how long was that? Well, you should kill that. Um, hmm, that is kind of what it's sounding like right now. Maybe. Hmm. Has anybody been up here that you've noticed? Nothing out of the normal though? Alright, well, that's the main thing. Alright, cool. Yeah. Okay. Um, well, it's night now. Do you want to try and get some gunpowder? I think I killed it. Yeah, it was part of the raid. Yeah, no, I killed it. It was still outside when I killed it. How much TNT or how much gunpowder do I need to make TNT? Okay, I think I'm gonna have that after this next kill. I have 6 gunpowder. How big is the grave? You still haven't shown it. Okay. Um, so you were near the library, you said, right? Did you happen to see a restaurant there? Yeah, me and my business partner opened that together, and they are definitely on their side. So that's one to say the least. It's possible that ramen is. You. Oh, yeah. I believe he's on our side. He knows better than to cross me. Yeah, I'm just getting some arrows. What was that? I just got a crossbow from the raid and I tossed it. Oh, okay. Which I really hope for their sake isn't the case. I'm not gonna say that I do, but all I'm gonna say is I'm not scared if they do. This is true. I am somewhat of an archer. Business office. You're gonna be like the mountain boss, huh? Well, I'm glad to have you on my side, to say the very least. Oh, well, as soon as they do, you notify me. What is this? I'm next to the library. Property of the Eclipse Church. Well, if that doesn't sound satanic ritual like, I don't know what does. Hmm. Well, do me a favor and keep an eye on that for me. Huh. Where's this graveyard? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still have six. Mhm. Well, you say if we want, like finding another creeper is easy. One will probably be good enough. Do you have sand? Do you have sand on you? Perfect. I think that there's one right here. Take some of that. Rest in peace, beloved friend, you will be missed. No, you won't be missed. You tried to murder me, and you deserve what's about to happen to you. Oh yeah, I would love to. Bye bye, B. Maybe that'll teach you ghosts don't come back. I'll stay dead this time. Steal this thing real quick. Like an escape room. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah. wouldn't be the first time. Like I said, I blew up the first grave too. Oh, well, I think it's just showing how bad of an owner he is. That's what, the third pet that's died of his? Well, Snowboy died twice. Well, it seemed like it was both of theirs the way that he was all over. The hole's still there from when I broke him out. Notice the whole blast where I exploded it. Exactly. At least you keep them company. Like, and look how close they were to all of these furnaces. You know how hot that had to be? Jesus. Really? Like, they did not. I did nothing wrong. I was trying to take care of it. Well, was there? You're right. If they had a whole grave, there's probably a funeral to go with the second grave. Like logs of this? You know, I did hear that there was some sort of secret room. Something like that. Not really. I just know it was a room that B knew of. I'm not sure. Yeah, all I know is there's some sort of room that B knew of that nobody else quite knew about. Well, I suppose we gotta leave it for now. Where is he, man? I've not seen him in days. And I've been on here for a while. Well, I do recommend that we prepare for the worst. You want to know something, man? These golems are nothing. I can kill each and every one of them, and they probably wouldn't even think about it. Now you're talking. I like what you're thinking. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Ooh. Yeah. You're obsessed with these hatches, aren't you? I see. Well, I apparently do too now. Well, for all we know, it could be an hour. Just do what you can. Like I said, as soon as a ritual starts happening, you need to let me know. And then I'll be on my way. What's dead? It's best it stays dead. Because I know once it's alive, everyone will turn on us.